Okay, I'm lucky I just looked because I thought I was recording for the last like 2 minutes, but I wasn't. So thank God I wasn't. Like, I didn't read the whole damn chapter with the thing off. Okay. Chapter 18, the final battle. And I think it's the final chapter too. It's been a real roller coaster of emotions. Okay, let's just do it. At the sound of guns firing behind him, Solid Snake whirled around, ready to die, and equally ready to take as many of the enemy with him as he could. But to his astonishment, he saw not the enemy he expected, but Jennifer's brother, Eagle Man, Gray Fox, and other snakemen he'd rescued, even Chuck. Why does he say even Chuck? Gray Fox was way fucked up. I don't know how he is, like, standing up and holding a gun right now. It was his old squad, weak and wounded, but coming to fight at Justin Haley's side. These bitches couldn't even stand up before. They couldn't even fucking stand, so I don't know what kind of power-ups they've been eating. Metal Gear had been their mission too. Now Solid Snake was no longer alone. Now he had allies in the final battle. Only 2 of the snakemen had found weapons. The others began attacking the remaining guards with sticks, pieces of brick and stone, anything they could get their hands on. Weakened though they were by their imprisonment and torture, their united strength caught the guards by surprise, and 2 more terrorists went down under the snakemen's assault. Solid Snake raced over to insert the key cards in the other 2 slots. 5 guards down, 5 locks opened, 3 more to go. Now Solid Snake needed all the allies he could get, pushing aside the body of a fallen guard. He shouted through the open lock straight into the Lexan shielded enclosure. Dr. Pettovich! Dr. Pettovich! Ellen's alive! She's safe! We're the United States Marines, and we rescued your daughter! Would the old man hear Haley's words? And if he did, would the words do any good? Dr. Pettovich was already so enfeebled. What kind of help could he give? Don't undercut or underestimate this fucking old ass man. Inside the Lexan booth, Dr. Pettovich appeared to come to life very suddenly. He stood up straight, and the years fell from his shoulders. Reaching out for California Taffy's throat, he began struggling with the terrorist leader to get at the white disarm button. Oh my god. He's brave to go after a guy, because I know California Taffy gotta have guns. For a minute there, the combat between the 2 men was almost equal, but Colonel California Taffy was a much younger and stronger man, and he was armed. Dr. Pettovich had been subjected to the most vicious physical and mental torture. Like what? Which had drained him of his strength. Yet he fought on, made stronger by the knowledge that his daughter was alive. With an effort, California Taffy fought himself free of the old man's grip, drew his pistol from its holster, and brutally pistol whipped the scientist. Dr. Pettovich slumped to the ground unconscious. See, he's not that bad of a guy, or he would have just killed him right there. Time had slowed down, but each second moved too fast. The display read 24, 23, 22. This is definitely on some, like, Rocky and Bullwinkle shit. The battle continued. 7 of the 8 keycards had already opened 7 of the locks. I'm sure that one last guard is just fucking pissing himself. Thanks to the help given by the snakemen, 7 of the enemy lay unconscious, but there was still one more guard to go, one more lock to open. Captain Haley ran towards the guard, uttering his tiger yell at the top of his lungs. The force of his rush knocked the assault rifle out of the guard's hands. Instantly, the two men were locked in a life or death, bare-handed, one-on-one battle. The enemy held the advantage. All he needed to do was to keep Haley away from Metal Gear for a few more seconds. And the terrorists would win. Oh no, don't let the terrorists win! The free world would be destroyed. The task Solid Snake faced was far more difficult. In the same few seconds, he must overcome the guard, get the lock open, and then defeat the dictator, California Taffy, in order to hit the white button. The enemy guard was fresh and very strong. Justin Haley was almost played out. A man with a mission. For many, many hours he'd been without rest. He'd braved, here comes the, flashbacks, I guess. He'd braved and endured hazard after deadly hazard, fighting for his life every minute. It was a miracle he'd come this far. Did he have enough left to go the rest of the way? Now, weakened Captain Haley was struggling with the last guard, the strongest of them all. The other snakemen lay wounded on the ground, too exhausted to help. Come on, assholes. But they'd already done their job. Now it was up to Solid Snake alone. Nothing mattered but that white button. He could see the countdown continue. 18, 17, 16. Last time it ended in 22. So only 4 seconds passed with all that shit. Now the enemy had Solid Snake by the throat. Oh lord. His powerful fingers closing, throttling, trying to squeeze the last breath out of him. Justin Haley couldn't free himself. He was blacking out. Desperately, he looked around for help. Jennifer's brother, Eagle Man, was the nearest of the snake men. He was laying on the ground, close to unconscious. "Bob, you have to help me!" croaked Solid Snake, his voice squeezed into a whisper. "Take keycard 8 from me and put it in the slot. You have to hurry! Never mind me, just get the card. We only have a few seconds left!" Eagle Man raised his head weakly and nodded, then painfully, inch by inch. Bob O'Reilly. I don't know why I had to name him that. I wonder if everybody else is secretly named after a song too. Dragged himself over and pulled the card from Solid Snake's fingers. While Haley still struggled with the terrorist, Eagle Man dropped keycard 8 into its lock. Now all 8 keycards were in place. Things began to happen all at once. As soon as the last keycard fell into place, the Lexan shield dissolved, disappearing into the ground. Metal Gear was now in the open, exposed, but the detonator timer was still ticking the seconds away. The digital display showed 15, 14, 13. Man, that's some bullshit. Not even 1 second went by? That's a damn lie. The destruction of Metal Gear's Lexan shield took the enemy guard by surprise. For once, split second, his hands loosened around the throat of Solid Snake. In that instant, using all his strength and cunning, Haley broke the guard's chokehold. Now Haley summoned every ounce of strength he had left in his body with his bare hands. He karate chopped the last terrorist guard and threw his limp form. Oh, what is this bullshit on my computer? Threw his limp form aside without thought for his own safety. Solid Snake hurled himself toward Metal Gear, his right hand reaching for the white button that would disarm the weapon. But his hand never made it. Oh man. As the Marine captain raced into the booth with only seconds to spare before detonation. Colonel California Taffy raised his pistol and fired. The bullet reached its target, slamming into Haley's shoulder above the body armor. Oh, it's just in his shoulder. He'll be fine. Blood began to pump from the wound. The impact sent Solid Snake's body spinning. But before he reached the ground, he twisted his body in the air like a cat. If he could only. It was his last possible chance of success, and it worked. Haley fell forward on the computer control panel, his hand outstretched. Okay, I was joking before about him, stepping on the keyboard like a cat to fuck up the machine, but I guess that's what's actually going on in this book, so kudos to that. He saw the seconds move. 7, 6. With an angry roar, the dictator California Taffy lifted his pistol to fire again. But before he could pull the trigger, Dr. Pettovich, now conscious, reached up from the floor and yanked the terrorist off balance. I should have just been like, he yanked the terrorist. The gun fell from California Taffy's fingers. Haley could see he was running out of time. 4, 3, 2. Solid Snake's hand reached the white button and pushed. The timer clock stopped, the countdown reading 000001. With only 1 second to spare, Metal Gear was out of commission. The world was safe. With a beast's snarl of psychotic rage, Colonel Vermin, California Taffy, threw himself at Justin Haley. The two men grappled with each other, each trying to get the upper hand. Oh, I bet they are. Maybe he wouldn't be so mean if he wasn't named Vermin. Solid Snake was younger and stronger than the dictator, but he was wounded and losing blood. California Taffy was master of every evil, dirty trick in the book. The hand-to-hand struggle went on for minutes, and all the while the noise of a battle taking place nearby became louder and louder, the gunshots nearer and nearer. Haley reckoned that his fight with Colonel Vermin, California Taffy, would be his last. At any moment the remainder of the terrorist army would be in here, and that would be the end of the Snake Men. But the mission was a success. Metal Gear was disarmed, and if Solid Snake could only hang on a little longer, he might be able to take California Taffy with him. That would really be a blow struck for the free world. Suddenly, the battle was upon them. A group of armed men in uniforms ran in, brandishing their weapons. At once, Colonel California Taffy made a dive for the floor, going after his own pistol. Solid Snake saw the action, kicked out with the last remaining bit of strength, in his wounded body. How many times has he used the last of his strength by now? The kick caught California Taffy on the side of the head and knocked him out. Oh, I thought he was like gonna kick his gun away or something. The dictator lay sprawled at the side of Metal Gear, the monster he'd created to dominate the world. "Haley!" cried an astonished voice. Well, I'll be. Solid Snake, is that you?" "I'm hearing things," thought Justin Haley. "It's that bump on the head and loss of blood. I must be blacking out. I could swear I heard." "Solid Snake, it's me, Commander South. I'm here with the Foxhound command troops and the rest of the Snake Men squad. I sent you in here to die, but don't be pissed about that." He didn't say that, I just added that shit in. "We've got Outer Heaven completely surrounded. My men are rounding up the last of the terrorists now. I can't believe you're alive." "But you're wounded, man." He said the man part too, I didn't add that shit. "You're bleeding bad. Medic, come over here on the double. Get this Marine some help." I'm alright, sir. Just a little woozy." "Take care of my buddies first." Solid Snake pointed to the wounded Snake Man. "Eagle Man, Gray Fox." Commander South couldn't hide his astonishment. "Did you free them, Haley?" "Yes, sir, and I found Ellen Pettovich. She's safely hidden." He doesn't know that she could have been killed during this time that he was gone. "That's Dr. Pettovich, just getting up from the floor. He's on our side, sir." And is that thing Metal Gear?" asked Commander South. "Yes, sir." It's in all caps. "Primed, loaded, and out of commission." "I don't know what to say, Haley, except, well done." "Now let's get you out of here and into sickbay. You can tell me about it when you're feeling better. Just shut the fuck up right now and go where I want you to go." "I feel fine, sir, and very glad to see you." Quit lying. Quit lying. He's not very honest. "But what about California Taffy, sir?" "California Taffy? Colonel Vermin California Taffy? Was he here?" "He's out cold, sir, lying right there." Solid Snake broke off, mystified. The spot where the dictator had been lying was empty. California Taffy was not there! Oh my god! It's like a slasher villain. He's like Michael Myers or Freddy, or not Freddy. Jason. You know, one of them people that you can't kill. He's gone, sir. He must have escaped. But how?" Haley took one step backwards, wobbled, and nearly fell. He'd lost a lot of blood and was getting weaker by the minute. Yeah, get one of these other healthy soldiers to fill that shit in. "Easy, Solid Snake." Commander South put his arm around Justin Haley's shoulders to steady him. "That evil maniac must have gotten away in the excitement. He knows every inch of this wretched place. There must be 1,000 holes for him to crawl into. Don't worry, one of these days we'll get him." Meanwhile, the chopper is topside and doctors are waiting. So get the fuck out there and shut up. Haley wouldn't move until he saw the last of his squad buddies loaded onto gurneys. Then, I hate that word, gurney. It's such an ugly word. Then, slowly, he followed Commander South out of the basement arsenal. His job here was done. Solid Snake's mission had been completed, and successfully. Metal Gear was now harmless and in the possession of the forces of democracy. They're like, it's ours now, bitch. We can have this shit and do whatever we want to it. They're not gonna destroy that. You know, they're just gonna take it and use it for their own shit. Where was I? The Snakemen prisoners were on their way to the best medical attention in the world. Ooh. Ellen and Dr. Pettovich were safe. The world was safe. Even so, Haley knew that something was missing. His victory was incomplete, and he had the bitter taste of ashes in his mouth. In the doorway, Haley turned. He spoke very softly. "Wait for me, California Taffy. Wait for me," he whispered. "I'll be back, so wait for me. You belong to me, and soon I'll be coming back to collect. Next time, you won't get away. We're meant to be." He spoke very softly, but somehow, Solid Snake knew in his heart that, hidden away, somewhere, Colonel California Taffy heard his words. Oh, what a nice ending. That's the end. And then you know what's really funny is that at the very end of the story, it has this list of books that I guess are all like also other like books about other army books and stuff like that, or books about war. As it says, "Dear reader, I hoped you liked reading Metal Gear. Here is a list of some other books that I thought you might like." Some of these I haven't heard though. I've only actually heard of two of them. One of them's All Quiet on the Western Front, which I don't know. I just think it's so funny because it's like All Quiet on the Western Front is not like this. At least I don't think so. I mean, like, this is like a fucking bubblegum book, and All Quiet on the Western Front is like actually about World War I, right? I think something like that. And then one of them is The Great Escape. Then the other ones I've never heard of. One of them's called Across 5 Aprils. One of them's called Call It Courage. One of them's The Survivor. And the last one is Young Man in Vietnam. I wonder what war that one's about. So it's kind of like, I guess they're trying to use this bubblegum book as like a gateway to reading actual, like, novels about war or whatever. But, you know, they should have had the Red Badge of Courage on here. That's a good one. And that one's weird, too. It has some weird scenes. You can find these books at your local library or bookstore. Ask your teacher or librarian for other books you might enjoy. Be like, "Hey, you got any army books? You got any novels about army people?" Best wishes, FX9. Alright, well, that was awesome. That was a cool old book. Who's the writer of this shit? Written by Alexander Frost. Alexander Frost, if you got any other little chintzy books like this, I will read them. Maybe. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. I'm gonna read something else next time. Yeah.